Motion be agreed to.
Mr Speaker.
The Honourable Nanaima Huga.
Labour supports the passage of this particular bill, and I want to comment on three specific aspects that were raised in submissions. I want to thank the people of Ngati Koroki Kahukura for hosting the Select Committee at Karapiro, where we heard a number of supportive submissions. I also want to, convey with concern subsequent emails that were sent to Select Committee members in relation to the consideration of the bill. And I know for a fact that that particular submitter is well aware of the political process, and although he may not be satisfied, perhaps my contribution in the second reading may explain how some of those matters were considered. The issue of the co-management of the Waikato River, and the point that was raised in the submission by Koroki Kahukura was that it was an expectation that they would continue to assert their role in the kaitiakitanga of the Waikato River because they live right next to it. And there was no dispute over that in relation to the Waikato River settlement, in relation to Raukawa, insofar as the interests running from Karapiro to Arapuni. The issue that was raised with the Select Committee was that in order to carry out legitimate co-management responsibilities as a aligned iwi interest that had a cost to it. We did pursue at Select Committee level, was there an opportunity for some co-management costs to be ascribed to the rights and interests that are conveyed in the legislation. We received advice from officials that this was not possible and that this was to be considered within the context of the Waikato River settlement. Again, this is problematic for Koroki Kahukura because they have to negotiate within the already set parameters for the ascribing of co-management funds through the Waikato settlement. And so we saw the dilemma. The Select Committee saw the dilemma that if you are going to ascribe rights and functions within a settlement and that costs, then the cost should be provided for, albeit within the to make clear, I guess, what the obligation and the expectation arising from the river settlement management instruments could be towards Koroki Kahukura. And I think partly what they were asking for was to give clarity on how their co-management function could be carried out and to be able to accept the true cost of this. Unfortunately, we were unable to achieve that, and again, that was probably what led to the email. There were other issues in relation to land bank properties, and we have to see the three land bank properties that were identified in relation to Maunga Tautari Mountain. This has been Maunga Tautari itself, and both Louise Upston and Sue Moroney will know quite clearly what the tensions are, was that the community certainly were very concerned about the transfer of ownership of Maunga Tautari Mountain to Ngati Koroki Kahukura in and of themselves. In 2011, when all those tensions resurfaced, it brought into question the extent to which the Minister was prepared to consider the three properties that were identified in Arapuni. And this became a problem. This was certainly how it was explained at the Select Committee level.
Krista, sorry, I rang the bell at a 2-minute bell. In fact, when the clock was set, it was set at 5 minutes, so you actually have some more time.
Oh, fantastic.
So that's my apologies. So you actually have 5 more minutes.
Fantastic.
My apologies.
So I can take my time here. So as I said, you need the members listening to the debate have to consider the aspiration of Ngati Koroki Kahukura and wanting the full title of the maunga returned to them in the context that it was a very political issue. What we have in the bill is an establishment of Te Hapori o Maunga Tautari, which is a community-wide, if you like, way of managing the maunga. I accept that. The political tensions have been very high, tense, And it's positive to hear that the Minister says that further negotiation around the fence, in particular, and ownership of it can continue to happen. It needs to happen. Because if we want to ensure that maunga tautari is a maunga that everyone can continue to enjoy, have access to, and be a part of preserving, again, the ecological regeneration and repatriation of native wildlife to that place, then a very fluid and committed conversation has to happen with the ongoing management of maunga tautari. The 3 properties that were identified by Ngati Koroki Kahukura when they went into the settlement did not become a part of their redress package. They did convey to us through the submissions, could this be reconsidered? We were told that there was an objection by Ngati Raukawa, their neighbours, and on that basis there was no instrument or provision to reconsider the transfer of these properties because an objection existed. Can I say that at Select Committee it started to raise questions about the issue of whether there should be an opportunity to retrospectively reconsider properties when things have moved on. So in 2011, when there were tensions around maunga tautari and the issues of the Arapuni properties got put on hold because of those tensions, in 2012, when it came closer to the time to actually complete the legislation, there was no ability to go back and address this. And I think that is more a policy issue. We recognise that, but it provided the precarious situation where we thought, heck, if these 2 parties can't agree, and they don't have the ability as time has passed to reconsider, can they come to some kind of agreement, because time makes all the world of difference. You could get the situation where properties that have been rightly identified with tribal interests could be sold outside of either interest, and it just didn't make sense to us. So, Minister, we understand that it is a policy issue. We understand that there was no scope for officials to move this forward, but I think common sense should have prevailed. If in the event any one of these 3 properties goes on the open market and neither Raukawa nor Ngati Koroki have the ability to buy back these properties, then I think it is a great shame. If in the event the way in which Ngati Raukawa interests to purchase these properties are strengthened because of their objection through a process, then again I don't think that the outcome has really served the best interests of the parties who have a clear relationship to those lands. I say this knowing that officials have put their minds to these issues and heard some very abrasive views from Ngati Koroki Kahukura on the matter. But I am heartened that there are, none of these issues affected the quantum of the settlement that they do have. There is an opportunity for Ngati Koroki Kahukura to continue to convey their aspirations as tangata whenua kaitaki and their rohe. There could be more to be done in the space of maunga tautari. I hope that greater commitment can be achieved and that people don't fear what Ngati Koroki Kahukura can do for the benefit of certainly the maunga, the community and the river. Tēnā koutou katoa.
The Honourable Dr. Peter Sharples.
Tēnā koe, Mr.